Nearly 30,000 migrants have been encountered at Del Rio since September 9th, with the highest number at one time reaching approximately 15,000. Today, we have no migrants remaining in the camp under the international bridge. Migrants continue to be expelled. To date, DHS has conducted 17 expulsion flights to Haiti with approximately 2,000 individuals. Those who are not expelled under Title 42 are placed in immigration removal proceedings. Approximately 12,400 individuals will have their cases heard by an immigration judge to make a determination on whether they will be removed or permitted to remain in the United States. An estimated 8,000 migrants have decided to return to Mexico voluntarily, and just over 5,000 are being processed by DHS to determine whether they will be expelled or placed in immigration removal proceedings under Title 8.
I want to start with those 30,000 Haitian migrants who came across the border into Del Rio, Texas, since September 9th, as you say. You say that 12,400 will have their cases heard by an immigration judge, and another 5,000 are being processed by your department. Mr. Secretary, of those 17,400, how many have been released into the U.S. and how many more potentially could be released into the U.S.?
So, Chris, about 3,000 are actually in detention, and we make those detention determinations in the best interest of the American public. Others are in immigration court proceedings. They are monitored by us. We impose conditions upon them, so we keep in touch with them and ensure their appearance in court as the law requires.
But to answer my question directly, of the 17,400 that weren't deported back or didn't return on their own to Mexico, how many of them first, how many have been released into the U.S.?
They're released on conditions,
yes.
and approximately, I think it's about 10,000 or so. 12,000
have been released.
Yes.
And of the 5,000 that are still in process?
We will make determinations whether they will be returned to Haiti based on our public health and public interest authorities.
So are we talking about a total of 12,000, or could it be even higher?
It could be even higher. The number that are returned could be even higher. What we do is we follow the law as Congress has passed it.
But let's drill down on more than 12,000 migrants who you say that you're going to keep surveillance over, but they are being released into this country.
Chris, that's what the law requires.
I understand.
If in fact someone is not expelled under the public health authority of the Centers for Disease Control, then they are placed in immigration enforcement proceedings. But they have an opportunity to make their claim for relief to a judge as the law requires.
But I understand all of that, but let's talk about what's going to happen to those 12,000. Removal proceedings, including asylum cases, can take anywhere from 6 months to several years. And 44%, according to the Department of Justice, 44% of those who are released into custody or from custody miss their court hearings. Just as a matter of reality, won't many of those thousands of people end up settling here in the United States, some of them permanently?
Chris, we have enforcement guidelines in place that provide that individuals who are recent border crossers, who do not show up for their hearings, are enforcement priorities and will be removed. And that is one of our
key... Do you remove all of them, or do some of them disappear into the country?
Well, it is our intention to remove them. That is what our policies are. And we deploy our enforcement resources according to certain priorities to ensure the safety and security of the American people.
But, sir, there are more than 11 million people in this country illegally. Clearly, despite your best efforts, millions of people end up in this country and don't just disappear.
Chris, 11 million people in this country without lawful presence is a compelling reason why there is unanimity about the fact that our immigration system is broken and legislative reform is needed.